Hello, my radiant Leo. If you're watching this right now, take it as no coincidence. This moment, this message has found you for a reason. And let me say this loud and clear from the very beginning, get ready. Something is about to happen suddenly and move very quickly. Your big breakthrough is closer than you think. Let me ask you something real. Have you been feeling stuck lately? Like you're being held in place, even when everything inside of you is roaring to move, to grow, to lead? Maybe it's been confusing, frustrating, even disheartening. But what if I told you this pause is not punishment, it's preparation? You are not falling behind, Leo. You're being positioned perfectly for something extraordinary. Right now, you're not at the end of your journey, you're at the edge of a breakthrough. In Buddhist philosophy, there's a powerful teaching: when all conditions are right, a lotus blooms even from the thickest mud. And that's you right now. Maybe you've been in the dark. Maybe you've felt like no progress is being made. But beneath the surface, everything has been building. Aligning. Readying you for a leap so big, even you won't recognize who you were before it happened. This isn't a prediction. It's a soul-level activation. The energy entering your life is not just change, it's acceleration. It's that moment when the pieces click, when the doors open, and when all that inner strength you've been developing finally has somewhere to go. The universe isn't withholding from you, it's timing things for maximum impact. And if your heart is beating a little faster right now, if your intuition is leaning in closer, that's your soul recognizing the truth. So yes, I welcome you with all my heart. You didn't land here by accident. You were guided. Whether this is your first time on the Eternal Mindfulness channel or you've been with me for a while, know that you are deeply seen, heard, and honored. This space is sacred. And your presence here, your likes, your comments, your energy creates something real and beautiful between us. Let me take a moment to offer my deepest gratitude. Every comment you leave, every time you share a thought or drop a like, and every time you subscribe, you're not just supporting this channel, you're helping keep these soul messages flowing to those who truly need them. And trust me, dear Leo, you'll want to stay with me until the very end of today's video, because what the universe is about to reveal is not just insightful, it's life-changing. Now tell me, my loyal Leo, what was it that drew you here today? Was it intuition? Was it a restlessness in your spirit? Or perhaps a quiet whisper telling you, something big is about to happen? If so, drop a comment right now and say, I'm ready to break through. Not just as a way to interact, but as a sacred affirmation to yourself and the universe. This is your moment of alignment. And it all begins here. Let's take a deep breath together and step into the shift that's been waiting for you all along. There comes a moment in every soul's journey when movement gives way to stillness, not as a sign of failure, but as a sacred pause. And for you, dear Leo, this is that moment. It may feel uncomfortable. It may even feel wrong. You, the natural-born leader, the fire sign that thrives on visibility, progress, and passion, may be wondering why the flame within you seems to flicker in silence. But let's reframe this together. You're not being stupid, you're being recalibrated. Like a lion resting in a golden cage, this pause in your life is not punishment. It's preservation. Not all cages are prisons. Some are sanctuaries. And the energy surrounding you now is less about confinement and more about conscious restoration. You are not here to lose momentum, you are here to conserve power, to breathe, to heal, and to remember who you are beyond what you do. The Hanged Man card in tarot captures this exact moment, suspended in time, not by force, but by surrender. You're being asked to see life from a different perspective, not with urgency, but with depth. This shift may show up in ways that feel frustrating: plans delayed, motivation fading, relationships in limbo, or projects that once felt exciting now feel distant. You might be waking up from strange dreams, unable to grasp their meaning, or sensing a dull ache of disconnection from your passions. But nothing is wrong with you. These are symptoms of inner renovation. A system upgrade that requires the whole of you to slow down so that your inner codes, your clarity, your intuition, your sense of purpose can be rewritten and aligned. This is the sacred silence before the symphony begins. In teachings that honor inner awakening, there is a saying, when nothing moves, everything is being moved. That is what's happening here. Life is not ignoring you, it's rearranging itself around the version of you that is emerging. Not the you from yesterday. Not even the you from last week. But the you who is stepping into a new, more expansive frequency. And that expansion requires stillness first. On a practical level, this is a beautiful time to take care of your body and mind gently, not forcefully. Consider scaling back caffeine and processed sugar, substitute with magnesium-rich foods like dark leafy greens, nuts, and seeds to help soothe your nervous system. Gentle yoga or simply stretching in the morning can do wonders for reconnecting your body with your breath. You don't need to launch anything right now. In fact, you're being asked not to. This is not the season for pushing. It's the season for planning. For listening. For tending to the garden before the harvest. In work or financial matters, give yourself permission to slow down. You may feel an impulse to push through, to make something happen. But the deeper wisdom here is to observe instead of rush. If a project feels stalled, ask, what is this pause teaching me? Sometimes the most strategic move is not forward, but inward. You're not behind. You're in incubation. The fire hasn't gone out, it's gathering strength. You are in the exact right season of your evolution, even if it doesn't look productive from the outside. Trust that the roots are growing beneath the surface. Trust that the stillness is making space for something much greater than you can yet imagine. You are being invited to rest, to reset, and to rise when the moment is truly ready to receive you. And when it is, Leo, you won't just step into the light, you'll bring it with you. Transformation rarely announces itself with fanfare. More often, it arrives quietly, like a change in wind direction or the first crack in an old wall. And right now, Leo, whether you've been aware of it or not, something within you has already begun to shift. What may have looked like stillness or stagnation from the outside is, in truth, the beginning of your personal rebirth. This is not symbolic. It is cellular. It is energetic. It is real. Imagine for a moment the journey of the caterpillar. When it enters the cocoon, the world goes silent. Nothing looks alive. From the outside, it appears as if time has stopped. But inside, the caterpillar is not restinged, it is disintegrating. Literally breaking down into what science calls imaginal cells. These are not remnants of what it was, they are the blueprints of what it will become. The butterfly is not built on top of the old, it rises from the complete surrender of what once was. That is the invitation for you now. You are being asked gently, but unmistakably to release the version of yourself that no longer fits. Not because it was wrong, but because it has served its purpose. The habits, the patterns, the ways of thinking and reacting that once protected you, motivated you, or helped you survive, they are not aligned with where you are going next. And while this shedding may feel uncomfortable, even painful, it is not meant to harm. It is meant to free. Ask yourself honestly, are you ready to step beyond the familiar version of you? Are you willing to allow an old identity to dissolve, so that something far more aligned can take its place? This process of inner death is not a loss, it's a return. A return to authenticity. A return to center. A return to the fire you may have once dimmed in order to be accepted or to feel safe. But that fire is rising again, Leo. And this time, it is not asking for permission. In numerology, the number 999 is often seen as a signal that a chapter is closing. Not just temporarily, completely. And while endings can stir grief or doubt, they are also powerful thresholds. Crossing them requires courage, but they reward you with clarity and freedom. The number 13, so often misunderstood, is not unlucky. It is deeply transformative. It speaks of surrendering to the end so you can make space for a beginning that aligns with your soul's highest expression. You are not here to repeat. You are here to evolve. This phase may bring moments of emotional shedding, tears for the people you're outgrowing, the paths you're no longer excited by, the dreams you once held but have since matured beyond. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. The ability to recognize when something has reached completion is one of the most powerful acts of self-respect. Now is the time to support this inner work with outer alignment. Surround yourself with colors and energy that reflect your transition. White silver clears the remnants of the past from your energetic field. Deep red helps activate the life force within you, calling your courage back to the surface. And rich violet offers grounding as you step into a more spiritually integrated version of yourself, not one defined by titles or goals, but by presence, clarity, and choice. The world may not see this change in you yet, but it's happening. Quietly. Powerfully. Unstoppably. Like the butterfly, you are becoming something you cannot yet fully imagine. And when you emerge, when the wings unfold, you won't just rise. You'll soar. When the moment comes for a soul to rise into its full power, it doesn't always arrive with clarity, it often shows up disguised as a decision. And for you, Leo, that moment is now. You may not feel ready. You may even question if it's real. But the signs are already around you, subtle yet persistent, asking you to step into a space you were born to hold, not because you need to prove anything, but because this is who you are when nothing is left to hide behind. There is a quiet stirring in the energy around you. A calling. Not one that shouts, but one that hums beneath the surface of your days. It might have come as a sudden opportunity, an unexpected message, a recurring thought you can't shake, or even the strange sense that something important is about to begin. These are not accidents. These are invitations. And the King of Wands, the archetype of leadership without ego, reminds you that now is the time to stop waiting for the right conditions and instead, become the condition that makes the moment right. You've spent time reflecting, healing, shedding. But a fire has been quietly reigniting within you. It doesn't burn for attention, it burns for alignment. You are no longer seeking permission to lead, you're remembering that your presence alone can change the temperature of a room. Like a lion resting beneath the shade, your power never disappeared, it simply went inward to regenerate. The judgment card appears now as a signal that a choice is near. Not just any choice, but one that could shift the entire arc of your journey. It may not come with full information. It may feel risky or undefined. But what matters is not the certainty of outcome, it's the clarity of intention. The deeper question is, will you answer the call to become more of who you truly are? In the path of self-mastery, we are often guided not by logic, but by recognition and inner knowing that transcends the mind. This is how the call often speaks, through moments that seem small but feel deeply significant. You may notice repeating numbers like 555, signaling accelerated change. You may find yourself dreaming of light, fire, or symbols you can't explain but can't ignore. You might feel your heart quicken at a certain decision or meet someone whose presence shakes something loose inside you. All of these are threads. Follow them. Now is the time to reevaluate your long-term vision. Is your current path truly aligned with who you are becoming, or simply a comfortable echo of who you used to be? If your work no longer excites you, don't fear the urge to pivot. If your relationships no longer feed your spirit, it's okay to redefine what love means in this season of your life. True leadership begins when we are brave enough to go first, not with noise, but with integrity. For those who feel something stirring in the heart, this is also a time to love with intention. Say the words you've been holding back. Make the move you've been waiting for someone else to make. But don't confuse boldness with recklessness. Set clear boundaries, even when your heart is open. When your emotional honesty meets your inner discipline, you become magnetic not just to people, but to purpose. Support this phase by surrounding yourself with colors that activate courage and clarity. Gold reconnects you to your divine confidence. Earthy orange grounds your fire into sustainable focus. Royal blue strengthens your throat chakra, allowing you to speak and act with truth. And if your birthday falls on the 23rd of July, 31st, 8th of August, or 17th, know that these numbers are echoing louder right now. They carry alignment energy for decisions that change the game. Leo, you are not stepping into the spotlight to impress. You are stepping forward to embody. To choose what is yours, not out of fear of missing out but out of deep recognition that you've waited long enough. And now, it's time to lead. There's a quiet truth that lives at the edge of every breakthrough. Sometimes, the biggest growth comes not from what we add, but from what we release. And Leo, if you've felt heavy lately, not just physically, but emotionally, energetically, it may be because you're carrying weight that was never meant to stay with you forever. The Five of Swords whispers a lesson many avoid, but one that every great soul must eventually face. Not everyone, and not everything, is meant to walk with you into your next chapter. Just as a fire cannot thrive in smoke-choked air, your inner flame, your drive, your vision, your passion cannot burn at full power when surrounded by relationships, thoughts, or obligations that smother your light. Some people, no matter how close they've been, cannot recognize the version of you that is now emerging. And that's okay. Growth, by its nature, will sometimes ask us to disappoint others in order to be true to ourselves. But this is not selfishness. It is self-honoring. Think of it like this: a tree doesn't mourn every leaf it sheds in autumn. It knows that in order to conserve its life force for the next cycle, it must let go. It doesn't fight the falling. It leans into the wisdom of release. In the same way, your future self, the version of you who is lighter, freer, more grounded, is gently asking you to clear space. To part ways with patterns, places, and people that no longer feed your becoming. And yet, letting go is rarely easy. There's grief in it. Guilt, even. Especially when your heart is loyal, when your intentions are kind, when you've tried so hard to hold the door open for others who never truly intended to walk through it. But remember this: you cannot save others by shrinking. You cannot elevate your life by staying silent just to keep the peace. And you certainly cannot rise if you are constantly bending yourself to fit into spaces that demand you stay small. Start simple. Begin by recognizing where your energy leaks. Who or what leaves you feeling drained rather than inspired? Whose presence makes you question your worth, even subtly? What commitments no longer align with your truth? Then gently, compassionately, draw the line. Not in anger, but in clarity. Boundaries are not walls, they are bridges to your freedom. And yes, you can love someone and still release them. You can be grateful for a chapter and still close the book. If it helps, write it out. Put down the names, the habits, the thought patterns that you know deep down are no longer helping you grow. Burn the page if you need to. Let it be a ritual of returning to yourself, not for drama, but for healing. For closure. For sovereignty. And pay attention, Leo. Because when you begin this process of cleansing, the universe responds. The number 777 often appears when a turning point is near, when the right people, opportunities, and inner clarity are about to flow toward you, once space is made. This isn't just a message of release, it's a reminder that what is waiting for you is better than what you're being asked to let go of. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. The stage is being cleared. The lights are being adjusted. And soon, it will be your moment to step forward, not to prove anything, but to embody everything you've become. So take this time. Let the smoke lift. Let the fire breathe. Let the story that no longer fits dissolve, so the one that truly belongs to you can begin. If you're still here with me, Leo, then something in this message resonated deep within you, not just as words on a screen, but as a reminder of who you truly are and what you are capable of becoming. Maybe you felt delayed, or like life has been placing you on pause while everyone else seems to be moving forward. But let's be clear about something now: you are not falling behind. You are not lost. You have simply been placed in a moment of stillness so that the next leap you take is bolder, brighter, and more aligned with the power you were born to embody. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Not anymore. Not even to yourself. Because this journey is no longer about reaching some imagined ideal, it's about returning to the truth of your being. And Leo, your truth has always been light. Always been fire. Always been presence. So I invite you now to take this message and anchor it into your reality. For the next 7 days, start each morning by speaking these words out loud, or quietly to yourself if that feels better: I am exactly where I need to be. I trust the timing of my life. I honor my path. Let these affirmations become your morning breath, your steadying ground. Let them help you reset your energy before you pour it into anyone or anything else. And here's a gentle but powerful practice I encourage you to try this week. Find a moment of quiet. Open your journal or a simple sheet of paper and write down 3 things you are ready to release. Maybe it's a person, a habit, a fear, or even a thought you've been rehearsing far too long. Then, on the same page, write 3 things you're calling in. More peace. More clarity. A new opportunity that feels like home. Write it all. Let your soul speak without filters. And when you're done, fold the paper, breathe into it, and keep it somewhere sacred. This is your contract with your future self. Now I ask you, sincerely, what would your life look like if you truly believed the best is still ahead? What would you choose if you no longer needed to ask for permission? What would you do if you knew without a doubt that everything you've gone through was leading you to this exact point? If your heart whispered an answer just now, don't ignore it. Instead, anchor it. Declare it. And if you're ready, share it with me in the comments. Type, I am ready to step into the highest version of myself, as a way of saying yes to yourself, to your path, and to everything that is being prepared for you behind the scenes. Because Leo, you were never meant to dim your light to fit into the world. You were meant to brighten it. You were meant to lead. You were meant to rise without waiting for someone to hand you a crown you already carry within. Thank you, from the depth of my heart, for choosing to spend your time here with me and with this beautiful community we're building together. Every like, every comment, every subscription brings us closer as a family within eternal mindfulness. You are the reason we get to continue creating these messages that heal, uplift, and awaken something sacred inside. And trust me when I say this, you'll want to be here for what's coming next. The universe isn't done with you, not by a long shot. So stay with us. Stay open. Stay glowing. I'll see you in the next video where the magic continues to unfold, and where your next breakthrough might be just one breath away.